Hi guys, this is Tablet-News.com and I'm here with the Honor Pad 10. We usually present you tablets from Samsung, from Huawei, from Lenovo, but this time it's time for a Honor tablet. It's quite affordable. It's only around 300 euros in Europe in a special bundle that also brings you a keyboard case and a 5G version of the Slate. It comes with a metal body, 6 very powerful speakers, also the latest version of Magic OS available for tablets with Magic Portal and all the AI goodness one can get. A pretty generous screen of 12 inches in diagonal, and as you can see there should also be a processor inside, which is good enough for most tasks, a Snapdragon 7 series CPU. First of all, it's an LCD screen, this one you're seeing here, Snapdragon 7 Gen 3, and I would say a pretty generous battery life. Let's get started. So first and foremost, the Honor Pad 10 sticks to the classical recipe of a tablet nowadays. It's got an aluminum body with a two-tone finish. One tone is here, the other is here. The camera is looking kind of premium to me, and as far as the weight is concerned, it's only 525 grams. It measures 6.29 millimeters in thickness, and one would say that the bezels may feel thick, but I find them good enough to rest my thumbs when I'm watching a video. And it also got matte finish at the back side, doesn't draw prints, but the front side draws a bit of fingerprints on account of the, well, not being oleophobic treated, and also created some reflections here and there. Pretty well built, pretty comfy. We have the physical buttons here and a slot here for the micro SD and the 5G. Nano SIM, of course. Now, as far as the keyboard accessory is concerned, you can see it here. It obviously serves to protect the tablet and also delivers a input accessory. Now, things about this keyboard, it's got a pretty decent travel. It's, I would say, pretty well spaced. I would say it's laptop-like, and it's got a pretty small footprint for such a large tablet. This one is a 12-incher compared to nowadays 8, 9, 11 inches. Speaking of inches, the screen you can see here, well, this panel we're being treated here to a 12.1-inch IPS LCD, 1 billion colors, 2560 over 1600 pixels and 120 Hz refresh rate, so the gamers will be happy. We also have a test video here, so let's see our typical test. Turn down the volume and let's check it out. Obviously quite an immersive panel, even though the color palette isn't as impressive as the one you'd find on an OLED. Still decently bright indoors, some reflections here and there as you can see for yourself, and outdoors in the sun, well, doesn't fare very good because of the contrast, but other than that, view angles are quite okay in my book, including the vertical ones, which were a bit of a letdown recently. When I tested the Galaxy Tab S11, I found the vertical angles to be disappointing. Okay, now let's see some of the results we achieved on our sister website here. So let's go to the tablets and see what the device delivers. We got quite the database of tablets here. This is the Honor Pad 10, and let's check out the brightness. Okay, so screen brightness is 637 lux units. Nowadays on phones you can even get to, I don't know, 1000 or 2000 or 3000. It's nowhere near the Huawei MatePad Pros, it's about half their value, but surpasses the iPad 10 from 2022, Lenovo Tab Plus, and several Huawei MatePad 11s, and even the Redmi Pad Pro. So that's what the screen is all about. As usual, Honor feels the need to throw in a little something extra. So here you have your typical screen settings, font, color temperature, ebook mode, but also these ones which will protect your sleep, your circadian rhythm, your eyes, your myopics, and your eye comfort with dynamic dimming and all that. Also get rid of the blue light so you can definitely sleep better. Now if you go inside the tablet, and I think you can find some of the specs here, so let me just do this. So go here, go here. Snapdragon 7 Gen 3 is the processor which is being used here. It's a 4nm CPU with 8 cores, Adreno 720 GPU, 8 gigs of RAM. You can also add more with the Honor RAM Turbo feature, and 120 gigabytes of storage. Don't worry, there's also a micro SD. I didn't encounter any sort of lag or any overheating, any problems like that. And our sister website holds the benchmarks. First of all, the throttling test is quite fine. We only lost 8% of the performance when running that test. So we're doing better than most Huawei's, and we're just surpassed by 1 or 2 percentages by other slates, like the Redmi Pad Pro, for example. In Antutu 10, we are above the Redmi Pad Pro and the Huawei MatePad 11, but we're below the MatePad Pros and the Galaxy Tabs. When it comes to Geekbench 6, we're just above an older Galaxy Tab, Redmi Pad Pro, Huawei MatePad 11. These are previous year models. The current year models as are this one, surpass us by a bit. When it comes to the 3D mark, we're actually doing quite fine, but only compared to more modest tablets from the Samsung FE series and things like that. As you can see, we're beating MatePad Pros, which is a compliment because those are flagships, and in general we're scoring decent results in the 3D test. So all in all, you can definitely play games on it, although I'm not sure you can go up to ultra graphics in Call of Duty or Delta Force. Now, as far as the battery is concerned, I am sure you caught a glimpse of it here. That glimpse showed you we're dealing with a version which has, let's see, 10,100 mAh. That's pretty cool for such a slim body and for such a large diagonal. So let's actually see what we're doing here. First of all, there's no charger in the box, just so you know. And what we find here is that the battery life is quite sufficient. So 15 hours and 51 minutes of continuous video playback time, surpassing Huawei MatePad Pros and even a Galaxy Tab or 2. This is the MatePad Pro 13 Pro 2, for example, and let's see which other models we surpassed. I see a Galaxy Tab here. This is the Tab S6. So yeah, we beat that one, but we scored below, let's see who, iPad 10, just slightly below it, Tab 11 Ultra and Tab S10 FE, which probably competes around the same price. Continuous usage is basically the PC Mark benchmark, and here we are with 10 hours and 21 minutes. It's, I would say, good enough. It's above the Xiaomi Pad 6s Pro 12-incher, which was a flagship back in the day, I think 1.5 years ago, but it's below the iPad by about 3 hours, iPad 10 from 2022. A full charge requires 1 hour and 43 minutes, which is quite okay for such a large tablet. And after 30 minutes, you're at 32%, so definitely require at least 1 hour of charging to get things going. Of course, there are battery protection features available here. And as far as I know, this tablet charges at 33 watts. Now we have reached the acoustics part of the experience. It's actually crazy. You may have 4 grills here, 2 on the side and 2 on this side here. There are actually 6 speakers on board, and I look forward to showing them to you. So first of all, we have a typical sample that we used. I would call it deafening. The body vibrates a bit, excellent bass, excellent strength, pretty good high notes, very good separation of high notes and low notes. I'm actually blown away by the speakers here. I would go as far as to call them a selling point. We have spatial audio, we have the excellent stereo experience, 90.5 decibels at the top and 88 decibels at the bottom. Among the top 15 tablets, top 15, top 12, something like that, surpassing most Galaxy Tab S devices from Samsung. And in games, I would actually advise you to keep the volume down, because 100% is honestly way too much for your actual needs. You don't actually need that much power. We're surpassing Xiaomi Pad 6s Pro 12-inch, Huawei MatePad Pros and Galaxy Tabs, so yeah. The record is only 4 decibels away, so very, very potent set of speakers here. I don't see an audio jack. I think there was room for it, but they actually decided against it. Now, as far as the cameras are concerned, I'll keep it brief. The camera looks sexy design-wise. This one here is not a sensor, it's just for decor purposes. It could be a secondary sensor, but not promoted as such. This is the 8-megapixel camera, singular back shooter with autofocus, it's true. 8 megapixel at the front as well for video calls and all that, and the features are rather basic. You're getting time-lapse and stickers, you're getting full HD video, photo, portrait, and you can scan documents. So if you're a student, this is probably the most useful feature of the tablet's camera. Now, if you go into the gallery, I even dare to test out the camera, and of course, things feel a bit like a phone you would purchase for $150 or something like that. Maybe a Honor Magic 5 Lite or something with light in the name from a few years ago. Very saturated and very contrasty selfie, a lot of beautification, even though I deselected the beautification. Very intense colors with the back camera. However, the video actually surprised me. For some reason, the colors are better than the photos and the details are quite fine. I don't see any murkiness here. The stabilization is decent. The focus may glitch every once in a while, back and forth of vibration, but all in all, quite decent video quality. Once again, you're probably better off shooting close-ups at home of objects, not big landscape scenarios, where the details will be very poor, I would say, because of the low resolution. Now we're off to the connectivity section, and I'm very, very happy to report we have 5G. I think this is the actual first 5G tablet I'm testing, if I'm not mistaken. So there's Wi-Fi here. There's Bluetooth and of course Honor Connect. You can even connect other devices nearby. You also have more connections. Keep in mind there is no GPS here, there is no NFC here. We have Wi-Fi 6 and the connection with the keyboard is via Bluetooth. I think it's Bluetooth 5.3, and once again there's a SIM slot here for 5G connectivity. You can place calls on it. I actually received the text here, you can see it, my settings for my carrier, and of course I couldn't help but taking a speed test. The typical application with excellent results. On Wi-Fi, 737 megapsecond downloads, 735 megapsecond uploads. On 5G, 519 over 56.8. I would say we're doing quite fine all around. No latency problems in games, streaming, and all that jazz. Now, it's time to talk about the software. I was a bit let down by the fact we're only running on Android 15, not 16 yet, but I have heard we're getting 6 years of Android updates and my heart was in the right place. So what are we getting here? So first things first, let's talk about the AI. So you have Gemini here, which now includes Nano Banana for creating images. I actually gave it a photo of me and asked it to create a little model of me. I actually would 3D print it, but this is too narcissistic for me. So this is Nano Banana in Gemini. Of course, you can also ask it questions and things like that. Of course, you also have Circle to search and some other cool features which the folks of Honor are offering here. So let's say, for example, we're in the gallery here and we have this photo here. I actually can keep it pressed, and if I can actually transport it to some of these apps here, I could post it on Facebook, send it to a note-taking application, or send it via Gmail if I wanted to. I can do the same with text. That's Magic Portal, skips a few steps to do things for you. There's actually a recap of all the AI features here. So you have AI suggestions, recommended apps at a certain place and time of the day. We also have Magic Text with extracts text from the photos, useful phone numbers from an indicator in a new country you're visiting. Magic Portal, you just saw it. So basically you can do something like this on the screen and take that part of it, extract the text or what have you. I just extracted the text. I can keep it pressed and I can send it to Google Maps, messages, notes, and so on. That's how the Magic Portal works. Getting back to it, we also have AI subtitles, basically captions for all your video applications, which is kind of cool. AI writing, you're basically getting advice. You can expand the text, you can shorten it, you can do a summary, you can change its tone. So all around useful things for your writing needs. You also have defect detection. I haven't seen this on other devices from Honor. So if you're getting a dubious video call with a supposed relative or a friend, which looks uncanny, is most likely a deepfake asking for money. Aside from that, you can obviously do a bit of multitasking. So for example, if I'm in Chrome, I can also trigger, let's say, the gallery, split the screen in two. So I can do a web browsing and look for a photo to post or send a friend in the meantime, or a video. So I can actually watch a video while I'm web browsing here on the website. And of course, I can open a third app if I want to do a quick calculus on the calculator. So those are just some examples of how to multitask on this device. We got this taskbar here, the latest used apps and the most often used apps. Of course, full suite from Google. And of course, Honor Docs. Actually relied on Honor Docs quite a bit. You can open up document files like Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Came in quite handy, but there's also the Google Suite if you really want to. Okay, so let's see what else. Of course, you can also connect with the keyboard. You also have the large screen features like the app extender. You have, sadly, you don't have a fingerprint scanner. I think that would have been nice to see. And for accessibility features, we have shortcuts, gestures. It supports a stylus, but sadly I didn't got one for testing. And the smart cover also has the keyboard. So all in all, it's quite good. One thing that I didn't figure out fast was how to activate the keyboard here. Actually, you place the device here. You prop it up properly. And if you look closely, there's a button here, which I actually missed. You do this. It charges via USB-C. It connects via, via Bluetooth, and then you can write tablet, quite soft keys this one, Tablet-News.com. Here we go. And this is our website. Lots of Samsung and Poco here. Maybe we should cover Honor more. Okay, that's it in a nutshell. Now it's time for the verdict. Okay, so obviously on the Pro side, it's slim, light and easy to maneuver. It's got a generous screen which is pleasant for watching indoors. It's got okay performances when it comes to the mid-range segment. And the battery life is quite good considering you can get 1 day of work out of it with ease, with some time left to spare. Fabulous acoustics, it went above my expectations so much so I had to mute it or take it down just a little bit. Yeah. And we also have a good price for a 5G version here in Eastern Europe. Micro SD card slots, 6 years of updates, efficient multitasking, useful AI, only DFA protection on the market, and the keyboard case bundled, plus excellent microphones. I actually had a video to do at some point and record myself with a screen capture. So when I took the screen capture, I was surprised by what my voice sounded like. Not sure where I can actually find it. I think it's here. Actually made something in Romanian about the phones. I recorded my voice, a recap of the phones of the year.
Poți să faci colaje, cum am făcut eu niște colaje de altfel cu pozele mele, le-am lipit una lângă alta și am creat un...
Okay, this is Romanian, but I'm shocked by the quality of the voice, even though I didn't have a special microphone. This is the microphone of the tablet, which is pretty cool in my book. Okay, so those are the pros. On the cons, no fingerprint scanner, no stylus in the box in this version. The screen doesn't handle sunlight that well, no Android 16, and the camera is too entry level for a mid-range tablet. All in all, it's a pretty decent all-rounder on account of the CPU, years of updates, AI features, solid screen, decent battery life, and the price, which is around 300 euros, if not less, during the Black Friday. And that whole magic and deepfake thing are rarities, which I would like to see on more tablets. So this has been the Honor Pad 10, and actually look forward to testing even more Honor tablets in the future. Goodbye.